I'm Target 12 consumer investigator Sarah Gurnelli, working to get you results when no one else will. Contact 12 Responds at WPRI.com or the 12 News app.
Now turning to 12 Responds, we've all heard of man's best friend, and that rings true for a local veteran and his service dog Bob, who recently had surgery.
But the cost of pet care is pricey, leaving the veteran turning to his community for some help, while also sharing why he believes more veterans need access to service dogs. 12 News consumer reporter Sarah Gurnelli is here with their story. Sarah.
A study published in 2024 shows veterans and military members who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder benefit from having a service dog. And that's the case for Navy veteran Paul Shafsma and his dog Bob.
Come on, up.
Meet Navy veteran Paul Shafsma and Bob. Bob not only likes to give kisses to our camera, but he's Shafsma's service animal.
Like with ADA compliant dogs, he's basically my left ear. And like if I'm out in public and my right hand starts shaking, he knows to nose up to my hand and let me know, because I don't even know what's happening.
He says he suffers from PTSD, and Bob has been right by his side for the past 10 years, not only helping him when he needs it, but the pair have also traveled a lot together.
We've been up 14,000-foot peaks. He's met bison, he's met elk, he's swam in Atlantic in the Pacific.
Bob recently had surgery to remove tumors, which Shafsma says he's paying for out of pocket. He says it's because Bob is not covered by the VA's dog veterinary health insurance.
It just really stinks when you find out at the end that the VA actually has this insurance policy, and just due to convoluted policies and unending paperwork, it's near impossible to get if you self-train your dog.
The policy requires veterans to be prescribed a service dog. Then the dog has to go through a specific training program, which should be free. Shafsma believes this process has turned many veterans away from trying to get a service dog.
We're trying to get the VA a little more proactive in what these dogs can actually do for our lives.
According to this 2024 study by the National Institute of Health, an estimated 23% of military members and veterans with post-9/11 service have PTSD, and veterans are more likely to die by suicide than non-veterans. The study used 156 military members and veterans with PTSD and found partnership with a trained psychiatric service dog was associated with lower PTSD symptoms, a disorder that's difficult to treat. Shafsma says he and his fellow veterans want the federal government to find a way to increase access for veterans to get service dogs.
I'm saying I've talking with other vets where we're thinking about approaching a major U.S. insurance company that covers veterans to see if maybe they will offer a little pet insurance policy just for us.
The dog benefits that are provided through the VA started in a pilot program in 2016, where 652 veterans with guides or service dogs received those benefits. If you'd like to donate to Bob, we have a link to his GoFundMe page on our website, WPRI.com. In the studio, Sarah Gurnelli, 12 News.
Now in our latest 12 Responds, address confusion almost caused one couple in Foster to lose their health insurance.
You see, they live in Foster, but their mail is delivered just over the border in Connecticut. Frustrated, they contacted Target 12 consumer investigator Sarah Gurnelli. She's here now with more. Sarah?
Ed Fulaz has cancer and his wife has serious health issues. Both say they were scared when they got a letter in the mail from their health insurance company saying they'd be dropped by August because of a mailing issue. On this sprawling land in Foster, next to a babbling brook, is where Ed Fulaz and his wife Jane call home. Their property is right on the Connecticut border, and that state line location almost cost the couple their much-needed health insurance.
She was in a hospital for 51 days, and right now I'm going through radiation for cancer.
They received this letter in the mail in February, stating that their insurance company, United Healthcare, received information that their address either changed and they may not live in the area that's covered. Ed says their physical address is in Rhode Island, while their mailbox has a Connecticut address. He says he was scared that the couple would lose their insurance coverage.
You imagine what that would cost if I wasn't covered by insurance? It'd be thousands and thousands of dollars.
Ed says he tried relentlessly to get a hold of the company to explain their situation, but had no luck.
I've spent hours on the phone, It's just terrible.
With having exhausted all options, Ed turned to 12 Responds. We sent an email to United Healthcare and included these documents to prove where they lived. Ed, who spent hours on the phone, said he got a call from the company right away, then shifted his focus to tackle the split address problem altogether.
I just want a Rhode Island mailman to come here. And I even have a circular drive so he can turn around. It's no big thing.
Fulaz says their health insurance issue is all worked out. He also got a foster mailing address, so something like this won't happen again. Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Now turning to 12 Responds.
A Rhode Island duplicate license plate caused a major headache for an 88-year-old woman in Smithfield.
It's all baloney. That's what it is.
Yeah, she was accused of driving a tractor trailer and getting into an accident in New Jersey.
But she says that never happened. Target 12 consumer investigator Sarah Granelli is here now to explain. Sarah?
Gloria Gabriel and her son were shocked and confused when Gloria got a letter in the mail from a rental car company saying she had been driving a tractor trailer with a car haul trailer and hit a parked car in New Jersey.
The ones that show the car.
Gloria Gabriel holds up photos of the SUV she supposedly hit in New Jersey while driving a tractor trailer in September of last year. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever driven a tractor trailer in New Jersey?
No. I only go from here to the center, which is right down the street. It takes me 8 minutes to get there.
The problem boils down to this. The driver of the truck has the same license plate number as Gloria, but with a commercial registration, while Gloria has a passenger plate. This letter came in the mail saying she needed to pay for the damage done, totaling $2,682.
It was 12 pages. They went through every detail. You know what? You feel like a criminal.
12 News has been documenting duplicate license plate issues for years. 6 years ago, this man got a ticket in the mail for a duplicate plate issue. A similar issue for this man in 2021 and another man in 2022.
My son said, Ma, I'm gonna call 12, he said. They helped us before.
Her son, Tom Gabriel, lives in Arizona. He says he jumped through hoops contacting the police department in New Jersey to amend their initial report and the rental car company to clear his mother's name. But overall, his frustration lies with the Rhode Island Department of Motor Vehicles, who issued duplicate plates more than a decade ago.
Even though they stopped issuing them, they're still out there. So the problem isn't solved. And I really think the legislature or the DMV, I don't know who has to do what, but they need to fix this.
According to DMV officials, the only way to correct the problem would be to cancel all existing duplicate plates and give out new registration to those vehicle owners, but explained it would be difficult, expensive, and would likely upset vehicle owners. For Gloria and her son, they want people to know that this problem still exists.
I feel bad if it has to happen to someone else, really. And, you know, you need the stamina to just say, come on now, enough's enough. And that's my story.
The spokesperson also says duplicate plate numbers may appear on different plate types, like in Gloria's situation where a passenger plate has the same number as a commercial plate, but no two passenger plate numbers are the same. In the studio, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Now turning to 12 Responds. A man from Cumberland reached out for help after Rhode Island Energy took him off auto payment, and he couldn't figure out why.
12 News consumer reporter Sarah Granelli is here now with what she found out. Sarah?
Arthur Poirier says he used auto pay to pay his electric bill on time and was frustrated when it was taken off of his account and he couldn't figure out why.
Doesn't say auto pay.
Arthur Poirier says he received this letter in the mail from Rhode Island Energy in November.
I received a correspondence from them telling me that they're taking me off auto pay. So I questioned it. How come? They couldn't give me an answer.
The letter states he either requested to be removed from automatic payment or he was removed because of an issue with his plan. He says he didn't request to be taken off of auto pay, and the company had access to his account, which had money in it.
I've had auto pay since day one. They've always taken the money out of my account. It's a guaranteed win for them.
Because he was removed from the service, he had an outstanding bill, which Rhode Island Energy said he'd have to pay before he could re-sign up for auto pay. He says he then reached out to the Public Utilities Commission.
PUC advised me of issues that have become a glitch with them. So I said, so their glitch makes me the victim here, if you will?
Rhode Island Energy confirmed there was a glitch in the system, but a spokesperson says he wasn't on the list of affected customers. After mounting frustration, Poirier reached out to 12 Responds.
So at this point, I've contacted you people, and I'm kind of at the frustrated level with why I can't get anybody to resolve this. Other than them telling me I need to pay the bill before they can continue with auto pay.
Rhode Island Energy says it's unclear whether or not his bill was in good standing.
Money was always in there. There's never been an issue with short of funds or whatnot.
Poirier says in mid-December he got a call from Rhode Island Energy stating that they credited his account more than $350, and he was able to get back on auto pay. In East Providence, Sarah Gordelli, 12 News.
We begin at 5:30 with 12 Responds. This week we have received several emails from people saying money was stolen from their EBT cards.
And that prompted us to reach out to the Department of Human Services to ask what's going on. Target 12 consumer reporter Sarah Granelli is here now with what she learned. Sarah?
Well, Kim, Mike, we learned about 1,800 cards have been skimmed over the past week alone. That's about $500,000 people aren't getting for everything from groceries to other household essentials. And it's unlikely they'll ever get reimbursed.
A bunch of us in Rhode Island got skimmed of our benefits.
When Richard Vasquez went to the store to buy groceries with his EBT card, he noticed the money that's issued through the SNAP program was gone.
It was zeroed out, and at that point I was just baffled because I knew I didn't use any.
According to the Rhode Island Department of Human Services, in the past week, about 1,800 people in the Providence, Cranston, and Pawtucket area fell victim to card skimming. The agency estimates about $500,000 was stolen that was meant to feed low-income people in Rhode Island. To compare, federal officials say more than 1,000 fraud claims were approved in a 2-year span, paying out more than $400,000.
You got a family with some children, and how, as a mother or a father, are you supposed to look at your kids and say, well, don't eat all that meal right now because you're going to save some for later?
As of December, the federal government stopped reimbursing SNAP money that was fraudulently stolen, leaving it up to states to decide whether they would cover the cost. On Thursday, Governor Dan McKee stopped short of saying whether the state would pick up the tab, instead saying that anyone affected should contact DHS.
They should be reporting that to Kim Brito, our director at DHS, because I think that they're the ones who are managing these cards.
Leaving people like Vasquez frustrated and concerned.
I think that if the governor is watching this broadcast that I'm on, I hope he opens his eyes to the reality out here and realizes that real people, real Rhode Island citizens are going to struggle and suffer for this.
And we're told these skimming devices have been found and removed, most of them from one location. However, DHS did not disclose where those locations are. For more information on how to protect your card, head to our website, WPRI.com. In the studio, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Now to 12 Responds. Many of you have reached out about your concerns with Rhode Island Energy, the state's largest utility company.
At 5, we addressed billing concerns with the company. Now 12 News consumer investigator Sarah Granelli goes one-on-one with the president to talk about other complaints raised by customers. Sarah?
During the second half of 2024, state regulators received more than 1,000 complaints about Rhode Island Energy's billing, service, and programs. That was up about 35% from the same period a year earlier. 12 Responds has been flooded with consumer complaints about Rhode Island Energy.
In hindsight, I wish we would have let them know in advance that there would perhaps be some hiccups.
In a one-on-one interview, President of Rhode Island Energy, Greg Cornett, is acknowledging the frustrations. The company has been heavily criticized since its launch of a new website in August. And Cornett says there were transitional challenges taking over from National Grid. He admits the website launch could have been smoother.
So in hindsight, had we known that some of the data that we were going to be getting from Grid was going to cause problems with our system, we could have probably taken some steps to remedy that.
An example, Cornett says a lot of the data from National Grid came with multiple email addresses and phone numbers for one person, causing confusion within the system.
Despite many months of planning and work, we didn't really plan for. We didn't understand that we would be getting some of that information.
People have been expressing other concerns, some saying they've been kicked off of automatic payment, like Arthur Poirier.
I received a correspondence from them telling me that they're taking me off auto pay. So I questioned it. How come? They couldn't give me an answer.
Cornett says this came down to an IT issue, and consumers with that issue won't be charged a late fee.
What do you say to those people who are already struggling financially, and then this has a major impact on their livelihood?
I would say I'm sorry, first and foremost. Unacceptable that we had a glitch on our system that bumped them off, and that is absolutely not the customer experience that we are striving for.
Another issue people have faced is with solar credits, which was also a challenge under National Grid. Cornett says the breakdown of renewable energy credits gets complicated.
We've gotten a little behind on some of those credits, and so we're working hard to get those up to speed and up to date so that we don't have those issues moving forward.
If you or your family are having issues with your energy plan, you can reach out to Rhode Island Energy directly. You can also file a complaint with the Rhode Island Division of Public Utilities and Carriers, or reach out to us at 12 Responds. In the studio, Sarah Grinelli, 12 News.
Turning now to 12 Responds. A local man reached out for help after waiting for a refund on a return with Saks Fifth Avenue worth hundreds of dollars.
Consumer reporter Sarah Grinelli stepped in to help. Sarah?
Neil Ben Harris says he's shopped at Saks for years and never had an issue with returns until November, when he waited for months to get a refund.
That's, I think, last month. I haven't got this month.
Neil Ben Harris says he bought a pair of sneakers online from Saks Fifth Avenue in November that he ended up not liking. So he immediately shipped them back to the company.
I sent it back on November 17th, and it took a few days to get it, another week or so for me to get correspondence with Saks.
He says in December he got an email stating the company had received the sneakers, but was left wondering where his $400 refund was after calling the company several times. How frustrating is this for you?
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. And I don't like going to the mall, so I buy everything just about online. And the problem is the pictures they show you are not always how the item comes in, and I didn't care for it when I got it.
According to the company's website, refunds generally take up to 30 days. After waiting for more than a month and a half, he reached out to 12 Responds in mid-January.
I primarily watch Channel 12, so, and I've never done anything like this before.
Hoping to get a resolution.
All I'm looking for is to get this situation rectified and move on.
We reached out to Saks Fifth Avenue twice to see where his return stood. They said Ben Harris has received his refund with no explanation as to why it took so long. He also was offered a gift card. In the studio, Sarah Grinelli, 12 News.
Turning now to 12 Responds, where we're answering your questions and concerns about the data breach.
12 News consumer reporter Sarah Grinelli is here now with more on what some of you want to know.
We've had dozens of people write in with questions about the data breach. Many are concerned about their children and their older family members. 12 Responds has been here for you, answering your questions directly about the data breach that has potentially left hundreds of thousands of people's personal information vulnerable. This comes after Deloitte, the company that manages the RI Bridges program, fell victim to a cyber attack. One person wrote in, "What can we do to protect our children's identities? Freezing their credit requires mailing in a lot of sensitive documents. Since the RI Bridges system has a lot of private information, it's important for parents to freeze their children's credit. Parents will need to send separate freeze requests to all three major credit agencies. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Parents do have to mail in their forms. Cybersecurity expert Kevin Ritchie explains what parents should do.
I would hand deliver that to the postal service versus, leaving it out somewhere where a mailman would come by and pick it up periodically, for example, in your mailbox at your home, for example. I would bring that right to the post office.
One viewer wrote in saying, "How can I freeze my elderly mother's credit?"
So if you have an incapacitated loved one, an older parent who can no longer, manage their finances, The good news is that you can, in fact, help them with a credit alert or a credit freeze.
Richie says it's similar to putting a freeze in place for your children with the 3 major credit bureaus. And you'll have to mail in those documents as well.
And you're going to need some copies of a lot of different information, potentially even power of attorney as well to get this process done, but it can be done.
We have an entire page on our website dedicated to your questions. For more information, head to our website, WPRI.com. In the studio, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
The holidays have come and gone, but many still have credit card debt to pay off.
Sarah Granelli spoke with a financial expert about how you can tackle those outstanding payments. Sarah?
According to LendingTree, nearly 36% of Americans took on debt this holiday season, with an average balance of more than $1,100. The season of giving has left many strapped with debt. Financial experts say it's important to try and chip away at it.
Recognizing that you want to pay it down is really the most important thing first, because if there's any killer to building wealth, it would be having debt that needs to be repaid.
Donna Soa-Allard is a financial expert. She says there are 3 ways to tackle credit card debt. The first way is with the debt snowball method.
You just line up all of your debts that you owe from smallest to largest. You make the minimum payment on all of them except for the smallest. Direct everything you have in your budget towards that debt. Once that is paid off, you add whatever you were paying there on to the next smallest debt.
The debt avalanche approach is the other option.
We're going to direct the most amount possible to the highest rate debt. And once that is paid off, you add that to the next highest rate debt until you're paid off.
She says some people choose debt consolidation, where you roll over your debt onto a low interest credit card.
If you can, lump it all into that one lender. And so the goal here is to pay the least amount of interest over time, but you really want to be disciplined about setting up a payment plan to get that paid down as quickly as possible.
And if you're looking to boost your savings account, look online for a high-yield savings account or a money market account. Some CDs still have a decent rate on them, too. In the studio, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Turning to our latest 12 response, a woman reached out for help after she put down a deposit for a headstone for her mother.
She couldn't get answers as to when it would be put down, so she turned to 12 News consumer reporter Sarah Granelli, who's here now with what she found out. Sarah?
Kim, Carla Gray says she put down nearly $1,800 for a headstone for her mother back in December, but months went by, and she was left with nothing until we got involved. Carla Gray's mother, Gwendolyn Durden, passed away January of last year.
Feisty and loving and giving, and she was an activist for her family and for her friends. She would help anyone.
Gray says her family wanted to have a monument in place for her anniversary, so they went to Murray Monuments in December when she picked out the headstone.
She said she can have it down by my mom's death anniversary, which was January 20th of this year. And I was thrilled.
Gray says January came and went and she couldn't get a hold of the owner. By May, she said she was fed up, so she reached out to 12 Response for help.
Frustrating. It's almost Mother's Day and I can't even, a headstone is kind of like a visual of your loved one, and we can't even go and memorialize my mom this year with a visual like we had planned.
We reached out to Murray Monuments to see what was going on. Days later, Gray said she received a call.
So I had an interview on Friday. By Wednesday, I had a phone call from Murray Monument. By Wednesday evening, they wanted to talk to me about the headstone.
The headstone was finally put down in mid-June, and we caught up with Gray again. She says although it took months to get the headstone, her family is glad it's there.
I feel at peace. It's like a piece of, it's a sign of closure, where we could just come and at least have a visual of where Mommy's last resting place is. It's a huge weight lifted off of me.
Plus, she says it came just in time to celebrate her mother's birthday.
I think she would love it. I love it, and I put love at the bottom because she represented the love and the tightness of our family.
And they celebrated her mother's birthday last Thursday. We reached out to Murray Monument several times, but haven't heard back. In the studio, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Now 12 Responds. A broken bed leads one couple to us to help solve a warranty issue.
12 News consumer reporter Sarah Granelli has the story. Now 12 Responds. Sarah?
Well, Kim Shanna, Reba Golden, and her husband from Johnson say that they bought their bed frame from Bob's Furniture Store that broke. Even though they had a 5-year protection plan, their claim was denied. So that's why they got in touch with me. Reba Golden and her husband, Andrew Mayer, sit on their bed that's held up by a stack of books.
I was sitting here. I sat down here on the side to put my socks on, and I heard crack. Like the bed crashed a little bit in the front, and the leg popped out.
Reba says they bought the bed frame at Bob's Furniture Store in Warwick in May of 2022 with a 5-year protection plan. So Andrew filed a claim.
Filled out the claim form online, and a few days later we heard back, and we got this really bizarre email.
This is the denial letter from Bob's Furniture's third-party warranty service, stating the damage you've reported is not eligible for coverage under your protection plan. The plan you purchased from the retailer does cover your furniture for structural damage. However, your plan states all damages must be relatable to an accidental occurrence. You reported the damage to your furniture occurred while normal use.
Well, we got to do something. They're going to have to help us because it's definitely not our fault. And that's when I said to Andre, I'm going to, go Channel 12.
12 Responds reached out to Bob's Furniture, who sent us a statement saying that they offered the couple store credit, adding, Bob's is committed to the utmost satisfaction of our customers, and we are pleased to resolve this matter.
After you reached out to me, I know you had reached out to Bob's. What they want to do is they want to offer us another bed and give us a credit for the warranty and the actual price of the bed, which is like $336 and change.
And if you have an issue you need resolved, reach out to us at 12responds@WPRI.com. Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
When you reach out to 12 Responds, we don't just listen, we take action.
I thought, well, if anybody can do it, you guys can.
If you have a question or concern, I'm here to help. Contact 12responds@WPRI.com or the 12 News app.